Stop thinking about these kids as people and think about them as ceramic vases for just 1 second for me, okay? To help me make this point, I want you to think of these kids as if they were very expensive ceramic vases in a museum. And instead of thinking about psychosis, we're going to think about epilepsy. So imagine that Lindsay is in a museum and she is a person with epilepsy. She was being treated by a doctor. She hadn't really been properly diagnosed and they were tinkering with her medications trying to get it right. So now epileptic Lindsay is walking through this museum and there are these 3 priceless ceramic vases there, each sitting on a little stoop. And what we know happens next for a fact is that Lindsay breaks those priceless vases. They are damaged beyond repair. They cannot be fixed. Everybody knows that Lindsay did it. And she herself said, oh my God, I broke those vases. I can't believe I did that. And the museum curator is saying, you did that on purpose, and I'm going to prosecute you for damaging my vases. And she's saying, no, I had a seizure. I couldn't control what was happening. My body was acting without me. It's not my fault I had a seizure. That is what is happening in this case. Stop thinking about these kids as people and think about them as ceramic vases for just 1 second.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the sisters out there. Unto thy foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. Yes, she just did the impossible. She just diminished the lives of those children that was destroyed merciless. Matter of fact, I brought it out earlier. Wasn't Miss Solomon 12:7? I think. I'm sorry, I gotta go up. Matter of fact, I'll just 4. It said, whom that hateth for doing the most odious works of witchcraft and wicked sacrifices. And who was I talking about? The Canaanites. All right. The Lord hated them for what they was doing. And it says, and also those merciless murderers of children and devourer of men's flesh and the feasting of blood. And these Edomites today, the modern day Edomite, so-called white man, also do exactly as the Canaanites would do. Esau so wicked, every failed empire, every failed everything, he does it. So her language of how she diminished the lives of those people, of those little children, well, I just call them kids because, you know, the mother sacrificed. If y'all don't know the story, Lindsay, I forgot her last name. She killed 3 of her children, and now there's a movement, right, of white women. Also, there's a celebrity. I forgot. She's playing Who's Boss? Who's the Boss? And now she's a part of that movement. And what these women are trying to do, are trying to say, is that they understand what she's going through, or they understand her killing her own children. So there's a fucking movement now. I hate when it does that. That people are feeling sorry for her. All right. So there's people out there feeling sorry for a mother that killed her own children. And that's a spirit that's going on. That's a Queen of Heaven spirit. All right. Like I did in the last show. That's a Queen of Heaven spirit that's being put out there. Because we live in some a perverse land. Let me get that real quick. Isaiah 19:14 says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. So for a mother, all right? So it's not bad enough that they could kill a child that then doesn't come out the womb. No problem. Now they're killing children who they named, all right, who grew, all right, who caught personalities, and now the women of today's society want to be able to take out anybody, any of their children at any time. Why is this happening for? Because this is that perverse spirit. All right, this is that perverse spirit. When you go into the word perverse, it's a distorting. The Hebrew word is I, I, distorting, perverting, warping. Okay, I think I did this before. Look up the word. Look up these words real quick. That shit is fucking crazy. Not distortion, but when you distort something, meanings changing or twisting the truth sense of words, facts. That's exactly what that lady did. Or ideas so they could give a false impression. And the false impression is like, oh, just imagine. Don't imagine these as children. Imagine it as vases. So a vase has more quality in her scenario than actual children. That's why that Jake was looking like, what? That's a part of that's part of it. All right, and for it's not an overnight thing. Well, all the behaviors of today is not an overnight thing. This has been in the works. This is all part of how the elites wanted to be. They wanted you to be heartless. They wanted you to be disattached to um, realism. All right, they wanted all that. They wanted to desensitize the minds of the people. So when situations of this occurs, it's no problem. Just like the whole form of the idea of eating human flesh, they made it to a way where it's acceptable because they distorted the fact. So the Lord allowed this distortion or this perversion to take place to rule in the minds of the people. So when the people go out there and do the things that they're doing, they're guilty. See, when Yahweh Bashem Yahushua comes back, he's going to judge the world accordingly to their behavior. And just the same way he was angry and pissed off at the Canaanites and he destroyed them is the same way he's going to destroy America. All right? There's the exact same thing. It says, going back to Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 6, with the priests, and hey, is not the Catholic Church known for molestation? Don't they always have to pay out? And how is it so acceptable the way it is? There should be people running down these churches and finding out who these people are and slaying them. But why they're not doing that for? Because it became the new norm. All right. And what the elite's goal is to make is a world that's completely in the liking of the way of their thing. What they do in privacy is gonna be out in the public. And that's why the scriptures since I'm in the apocrypha, I'm not gonna bring it out. So as the judge of the people, so as the officers and the people in general. So however the people that rules the society as messed up as they are, everybody else is the same way. Corruption being the most corruptible, the most perverse, everything that you could think of is that's that is who runs this world. All right. It says with the priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew and the parents. That's was that woman a mother? All right. And how many celebrities have sacrificed their children to the industry alone? Now we all heard everybody talks about the Epstein this, Epstein that, and everybody's upset. Nobody got arrested, right? And then when you hear about a celebrity talking about how they got molested as a child, that's just acceptable. Or to get into Hollywood, you have to do certain things to get a certain position. That's became normal. Oh, you know what? Alyssa. Man, what's that lady's name? Fuck. Uh, sorry, I just it crossed my mind. Cause she's the one. Let me type in. All right. I want to know Tatiana Burke. That's not her. The irony of it all, right? So the same people that was promoting the Me Too movement, which the Me Too movement, it was fraudulent anyway. I don't need pictures. I want to no, no, no. So all these women, which was this was all part of the plan, was to keep everybody distracted, and everything that's happened in Hollywood of let me see, Alyssa. Yes, she. Now she's part of the movement. She was part of the Me Too movement. Now she's part of the movement of Alyssa Milano, right? Now she's a part of the movement of the with the woman slaying her kids, right? I'm just typing her name. I don't want the Me Too now. Let's drop that. Damn it. Let me see. Let me see something. I seen a video. Now she's a part. She's trying to do the. All right, hold on. Man, how you spell this lady's name? Linda Carr. I don't remember the lady's name. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Okay, check this out. All right, now I'm gonna do it. So there's no public record, right? So you gotta Google shit. Type it in now. Nope, it's not giving me what I wanted. Damn it, yo. Let me see. All right. Oh, is it Lizzie Lauren? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong fucking last name. Yep, there it is. Alyssa Milano speaks out on postpartum depression amid the defense of Lindsay uh, Clarence. So she's backing up, helping support that whole fucking movement. Why? Why would she do that for? Because it's all part of the greater agenda. It's all part of the scenario they're trying to push. They're trying to push this merciless killing. It's, everything has a fucking reason behind it. Okay, that's why you have those people I should head to the to the foul. All of it, you want to change the notion into minor attraction, minor attracted. So you have people on earth that's pushing these evil agendas, which lead us to this particular one. Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him." So they're justifying the wicked. This is a society that justifies the wicked. Wicked deeds get a pat in the back, all right, when it comes to Esau, Edomites. And then they're the leading force to all the abominable things that happens. So they become like the trendsetter, but it doesn't hit hard until the Judite women takes over. Then it becomes a fad, all right. And all they do is just wait for you Israelites, you stupid Israelites, to go out there and agree with certain things, and then all of a sudden you become the face of that abominable thing. Okay, so now you want to start like when you go to the abortion that was taking place. They said once it was illegal, when it was illegal, white women was doing it. When it became legal, most black women was doing it. All right. Why? Because they follow fucking trends. So this whole society is distorted. This is a whole society is of perverseness. Okay. So like I said earlier, the same act of what the Lord did to the Canaanites is going to be done over here. And these people had no problem at all slaying their own, completely destroying their own kind. Because that's Esau for you. Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right? What's something else I was going to say about this madness? And the way they push it, now the celebrities are going to get involved. They raise up over $1 million for this bitch, a GoFundMe, and giving every excuse in the book. And it has a lot to do with the illuminated ones because they want to push a certain agenda. So when shit hits the fan and people and their children get got, that's why we don't feel sorry for them. All right, we don't feel sorry for them. That bitch literally compared the children. I hate when it does that. She literally compared these children to these kids to vases. All right. Imagine men using the same logic to harm women just for a second. Imagine a man saying, "Don't think of her as a person. Think of her as a very expensive vase." Let's see how many women go. Oh yeah, that makes sense. As someone with epilepsy, I still accept the consequences of this situation and work towards, mental gymnastics either way. So everybody sees it, yo. The agenda is real. All right, they're gonna find every excuse for the things that they do. So that's why we live in a godless society. We literally live in a godless society where they will slay their unborn child, and they will slay their own children that are born, that they named and so forth, and it's nothing to them. All right. Every day, women reinforce the argument that it's time to repeal the 19th Amendment. All women have done with their right to vote is to vote for the right to murder their babies. That's right. Vote for the politicians who support abortion. Abort roughly, damn, 1,000,001 126 babies every year. Vote for the soft on crime policies. Vote for the politicians who support mass migration. Literally everything that the women vote for and support either endangers Americans or kills them, as evident by women coming out to drive to support this woman who murdered her children. And there you go. There you go. This is some heartless shit right here by some heartless beings. All right. That's when the Lord comes back. He's gonna judge by righteousness. He do judge. All right. And here it is when Jake does something. They take it to the extreme. All right. They take that shit to the extreme. They make Jake look like the worst thing that ever happened. But look at the evidence that they do. They justify the wicked for their wickedness, or because they did wicked themselves. Oh, it says Psalms. I always get these two mixed up. Psalms 50. Psalms 50, and the point is at 18. But I gotta go to 16. Well, to the wicked Most High say, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Which is the Lord is getting back at Esau, you know, for even trying to acknowledge the fact they're the Lord's people. Seeing that hate his instruction and cast away my words behind thee, when I saw as a thief that consentest with him, and have been partaker with adulterers, that giveth thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frameth deceit. So when they see somebody that's doing wrong, they don't correct them, they assist them. And that's what Edomites do, you know? They just, the wicked. Everything that they do is under the guidance of wickedness. So for them to sit there and act as if they're holier than thou, and they're as wicked as the wickedest person possible, is an oxymoron. Right? That's why the scripture says, Isaiah 60 or 26 and 10. It says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. All right. So no matter what they do, they're gonna completely do the opposite. And they're nothing but a death culture. That's all they are. That's all they've been about, just death. And the same people that's talking about if somebody else takes somebody else's life, give them an X amount of years, as they care about the killing, will go around they slaughtering babies and children like it's nothing. You know, even to the point of their own. That's why they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom.